last day where you can negotiate a contract before the next race. If you can't secure a seat today, I'll be forced to step in. And that would put us in an incredibly weak negotiating position. So for both our sakes, get something signed today.
I think Emma's been smoking something again, because we definitely signed that contract at the end of the last episode. And of course confirmed there we have got our new contract. But yes, welcome everybody to another video of some F1 2020 career mode with Alpha Tauri. Today we're going to be doing the episode number 9 for the Austrian Grand Prix, a track that I'm pretty good at. But first of all, we've got, of course, got to look at R&D. We've got 2 aerodynamics upgrades that are going to be coming soon. We've repurchased the 2 failed aero, and we've gone for another durability upgrade as well. And into this race, I feel that this is the track that we've got our best chance of getting a podium for Alpha Tauri, if it is going to come. So I'm going to chuck in a fresh power unit, the last power unit. It probably means that we'll have to end up taking a power unit later on down the line, but we'll obviously go back to this for places like Britain and then Hungary, for example. Probably go back to the second column for those races. But yes, here we are in Austria. It's of course time for qualifying. And let's see what we can do. Our initial lap put us P11 behind Gasly. I bet it was very tight. It was like literally a half tenth in it. So our final flying lap, of course, everybody's going to be improving. We crossed the line with just a couple of seconds to spare. So that means we're going to have the best of the track conditions compared to all the AI who are following each other line astern, as we got 2 tenths up through in the first sector. That's what we like to see. Now we're going down to what should be turn 3, but is actually turn 4. At the end of the Albon corner, and moving through there. We've lost a little bit of time on corner entry, but we're gaining a little bit more back on corner exit. Albon has improved, so he's now into the top 12. Gasly's improved, so everybody's improved. We're down to P14. We're 2.5 tenths up. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough. It was tight, so it may just be enough for the top 10. Hopefully. I mean, it was 12th last time out in France. Let's see where this puts us. P10. There we go. Top 10. Maybe would have preferred to 11th. We would have got free choice of tyres, but it's not too much of an issue around here for tyre wear. So, and obviously, if somebody crashes, it retires rather, because nobody's ever crashed out in this career mode. If somebody retires with an engine failure, then that could potentially be a chance to get rid of the softs and go on to the hards. But before we move to the race, we've got a little bit of we've got an interview.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
Yes, I'll take that, Claire.
Who would you say is your biggest rival at the moment?
Oh my goodness grief, look at all the choices. Vettel, Verstappen, Bottas and Albon. I suppose we're going to have to choose Albon. I mean, we do want his Red Bull seat at the end of next year.
About this team?
Well, the option I chose was, of course, just giving them a little bit of hope. Maybe if we don't get Red Bull, then we'll go, we're not doing another season at Alpha Tauri. Thanks, Claire. I mean, there were a couple of relevant questions, and a bit more than the usual drawl that you actually asked me. But unfortunately...
Obviously, I expected a better session, but these things happen from time to time. Try to make up for it in the race.
And it looks like that Emma has been smoking the same stuff as Claire. Yes. We blood, sweat and tears to get 10th place. The car, no matter what it says there on that performance chart, the car is not the 5th fastest car on the grid. Okay, definitely at certain tracks like Austria, obviously we've got the Alfa Romeos, we've got the big engine McLaren as well, or close. But enough about Claire, time for the race.
This is it then, race day in Spielberg for this year's Austrian Grand Prix. The grandstands were a sea of red in 2019 thanks to the commemorative hats in honour of the late great Niki Lauda, who took home victory of course back in 1984. And it's a sellout crowd once again here today. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Joining me for today's race once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's start with Alfa Romeo. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Max Verstappen and Albon, Perez, Stroll, Ocon and an Alfa Tauri, Sainz, Gasly, Antonio Giovinazzi and Norris, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Kevin Magnussen and Roman Grosjean, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. And now it's time to head down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Well, that's why we put a new power unit in, Jeff. I mean, yes, race strategy is a one-stop. It's probably better to undercut, luckily, looking by the projected last time, but we'll go for lap 9. We'll lower the fuel limit, take about half a lap of the fuel out. That is simply because running in standard actually saves fuel on this game. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go! That's a great start once again, obviously using overtake to the advantage. What can we get? Perez down the inside? Yes, we can. What about Albon? We have to cut the corner because Ocon's gone down the outside. We get a legal overtake. We have to lift, which allows Sergio Perez to get past as well as Alex Albon. But this isn't over yet. What can we do up to P3? Lance Stroll's now on our right hand side, and he's dive bombed down the inside. He's touched Stroll. We've had to leave off because otherwise we're being pincered and out the way. We'll get a replay on Stroll in just a moment, but first, of course, we're going to dispatch with Ocon down the inside in turn 4. And thank you very much. Up into P7, and Albon follows us through there. But this is a replay with Stroll. He just literally hits that yellow sausage curve, which puts him into Ocon. And only I, of course, get stuck in there, pinned between Stroll and Albon, which only me lifting off allows the car. But I think Stroll might have some damage already, because the following lap moment 2, we're going down his inside up to turn 3 and up into P6. So best of the rest. I hope Stroll can hold up Albon, but alas, it doesn't happen. At the end of lap 2, Albon is going past Stroll without even DRS. You see there Stroll is going to come back, but eventually loses out. But the thing for Albon is, and crucially for our race, Esteban Ocon now is coming back at Alex Albon, and he's going to have the pace after turn 3 down to turn 4, and is now back up into 7th place. And looking a few laps later, Stroll has actually been overtaken by a few cars onto lap 4, and really is slowing down behind Pierre Gasly. So we move to lap 5 now, and we're looking at a battle behind Stroll, who's causing that. And there's Kevin Magnussen out of the race, and surely in tradition with this series, yes, every time someone retires, it's a safety car. So the safety car is out, and we're in the pit lane. We're going to change this up. I'm surprised nobody else has come in, although hang on, Ocon's in as well. We're going to take this easy, and we're going to put hards on. That means we don't have to worry about the tyre wear. We'll have track position anyway over Ocon. Perez is coming as well. Stroll continues on. I'm surprised Stroll didn't come in as well. Only 4 of us have come in. That's for the safety car. I know it's probably not slightly early, but obviously we were the first person in the view. But Moving to lap 8 now, the safety car is coming in. We're of course behind the two Williams, which is the slowest car in the game, slower than real life. Ricciardo's not had a great race. He's down in 13th place. He has yet to pit as well. As Ocon now is gaining and having a look at us around the outside of turn 1, nothing to do on lap 9. The important thing though is to dispatch these Williams because they are going to be super slow. They've got fresh softs on. They're probably going to go probably a little bit longer as well, thanks to the safety car. So double dive bomb onto up to Latifi. We don't get Latifi out of turn 3, excuse me, but we do try and get the better line as we look back on board with Latifi now. Dive it down the inside to turn 4. Latifi tried to turn in on us, but it didn't work, and we move up a position. And now really people are starting to come in. We have to take avoiding action there to avoid going into the back of Norris and Giovinazzi. But they do give us DRS and allow us to stretch the distance between us and Ocon out to 1.5 seconds. Bottas there is probably going to be the danger man. He's 8 seconds back with 6 laps remaining, so but obviously he's going to be really fast. And jumping to lap 15 though, he is coming into this race, but he's now got past Romain Grosjean, who is the back of our little quartet that pitted. And it doesn't take long for Bottas to fly past Sergio Perez either on those medium tyres with some more DRS down the main straights onto lap 16. He goes. We have another problem on lap 16 in the form of Esteban Ocon, because we want our first race win. We were cruelly robbed by the game in Canada, so I'm hoping we can, this time the game doesn't break. But more importantly, Esteban Ocon wants his first race victory for Renault. Renault haven't won a race in a very long time, so fast forward onto this lap and look how Ocon is catching us through this final sector. It's like he's running rich through that on that little mini straight there. So he's closed the gap to 2/10. What can Bottas do? He's 2 seconds down going onto this final lap. As we look behind us now, penultimate lap, excuse me, as Romain Grosjean has now lost out behind Hamilton and Verstappen. He's got Sebastian Vettel and Alex Albon up his trumpet. Hopefully he can keep Albon behind if we want that seat. But we're sort of really holding on. Bottas has closed the set. He's done personal bests, fastest sectors, and he's now within DRS range as well. So it's going to be a 3-horse race to see who can win this race. Ocon's going to have a go around the outside going into turn 1. He's going to give us DRS as well. We do cut the curbing as well and cut across him. That's going to allow Bottas to get ahead of Ocon. The DRS has failed. Going into turn 3, I didn't realise that it's stuck in the open position. We go absolutely off circuit. That should not be a warning street. That should be wiped off really. But Bottas now is the main man. He could rob us. He's got fresher tyres and a faster car, and we're going to lift off as well because DRS is stuck open. This is not where we want to do. Bottas is having a look around the outside. There's no way we're going to let him go through there. We make contact with the Finnish driver, and that could be curtains for his chances of getting victory here. I mean, he wants the maximum points ahead of Leclerc, who's outside the points. But here's a replay. I'm not allowing him to get the gap there. It's not really an overtaking spot, that corner. But he is still lined up. Can he get himself through there? We've got to take it carefully through these final 2 corners. But Bottas has lift off. He may have got some front wing damage. Up to the line we come. So again, our first Grand Prix of this season. Our first in this career mode. And our first for Alpha Tauri. Absolutely fantastic. I can't believe that ending, excuse me.
A fantastic team effort to secure victory here in the Styrian Alps. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
As we await the winners to take their positions on the podium, one thing is clear. Tauri have really shown their prowess on the track. This is a team that isn't afraid to take risks, whether that's on the circuit or in the new talent they've hired. Today, those risks certainly paid off.
Victory at last. We were cruelly robbed in Canada, excuse me. And yes, Bottas was miles faster. Actually, in fact, Lewis Hamilton got the fastest lap in the end, and he did get ahead of Sergio Perez, which will help Mercedes. Leclerc didn't manage to do anything. Gasly didn't really do anything. As I say, they really didn't. And Grosjean dropped to P9 in the end, but that, of course, helps us in the driver's standings. We're sort of in no man's land. Perez moves ahead of Ricciardo with that fifth place finish, and of course Esteban Ocon is also a big finisher. He only had 3 points before this race. In terms of the constructors, we retained P4. We've now got a little bit of a gap to Renault in 5th, who jumped all the way up from 7th. McLaren would be unhappy with 8th position.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
I'm absolutely
You took the top
ecstatic.
points today. Was it a comfortable win?
It definitely wasn't a comfortable win. Did you not see Bottas up our rear end on the final lap? DRS was absolutely wide open there.
Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today?
Well, not really. We made the strategy work with the hard tyres. And we were able to push ahead.
Well, looks like your luck has changed. Things went a lot better than last weekend, didn't they?
Well, 7th place is still good for us, Claire. But yes, I will definitely take a race win
You're
any day.
surpassing all expectations. Can anything or anyone stop you?
Red Bull, Helmut Marko. We know what he's like. He'd probably fire us if
Appreciate
given
your
the chance. So yes, obviously we've of course that gives us our lead in the rivalry. Only 4-3 though, unfortunately, but it's going to be a tough one to beat at Albon. But in our previous rivalry we didn't get enough points against Giovinazzi, so, and obviously we've got a bit busy time because we've got 5 upgrades coming between now and the British Grand Prix. We've got an invitational event as well to do. So yes, and then really looking where next. Obviously we've got to probably end up taking a penalty at the end of the season. I'm not sure where I'm going to take that yet. It ultimately depends on where we have a bad qualifying. We might look to do some more engine upgrades with more power, although there's a major power one as well, and we won't have enough resource points, R&D points for that. So we might look to do something on the Sashi side, maybe, because we don't really need fuel, or maybe a durability upgrade as well, and maybe even one of the Sashis as well, aero, excuse me, as well potentially. If you've got an upgrade that you think I should do, then let me know in the comments below as well. But I'm hoping also AlphaTauri are going to upgrade their departments, facilities, because really I mean, we've had 3 upgrade failures on the engine side of it, really. But yes, if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel for news, see more episodes of the F1 AlphaTauri career mode as and when they come out. Until the next VR time, take care, thank you so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.